Kanami from BandMaid gets a new guitar. Ticketmaster tries to force some affiliates down your throat. Stay tuned to hear more about that. And also, I'm answering all your comments that you guys left about Hagane and Bride Deer and much more on today's South Sound podcast show. But first, this band right here came out with a brand new song, and I would try to pronounce it. And I'm sorry for the people that are listening to this on the podcast. I have no clue how to pronounce it. I looked it up. I looked up on sites. I checked Reddit posts, and I couldn't come up with a clear way to say this. Let's just say the name of the song is called True Lies, which in my original reaction I completely thought it said lies. I don't know. But anyways, it's a great song. Oh wait, hold on. The bassist is singing in the beginning, right? So as you can tell from their reaction, I don't know much about this band. I'm sure she has been singing the whole time. Now, I've heard of TK, which is the singer, songwriter, and guitarist of this three-piece. He does a lot of solo stuff. But anyways, here is my initial reaction and thoughts to the song. I love her voice. It sounds really good. What the fuck? So crazy. This is fucking wild. It's just so wild. Very experimental. Oh yeah, they're putting the snare drum through a certain effect also, along with the guitar. The bass line though, the bass is killer. A lot. All right. I love the contrast between their voices. It sounds really good. Woo! That harmony, that spot on harmony right there. Hell yeah. Oh, it just sounds so good. Damn, the range on that guy's voice. Those harmonies. It's almost psychotic sounding. Fuck, that's so badass. Wow. Wow. There's such a crazy mix of progressiveness, but you still got a catchy chorus, I think. I don't even think they really played a chorus necessarily. We had different versions of catchy choruses. Really love the vocals though, and I like the technicality too behind it. It's a little crazy for me, but the vocals really hold it together overall. So it's just one cohesive piece with those vocals on there, I think, in my opinion. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this song down below. I have to listen to this again. This one's going to take multiple listens to catch everything that was just thrown in my face right now, because I feel like I was just like blasted with insanity. Guys, the full reaction is over on our Discord. It's absolutely free. There's no paywall or anything. If you want to check out the extended initial reaction, let me know what you guys think about that song down below. And then Kanami got a new guitar. She got her first private stock PRS, which is super exciting because that means there's only one of these things out in the world. Now, at first glance, I was not a fan of this guitar. For those that are listening, this is like a yellow-brown color on the body, and it has like this maple top that PRS is known to have on many of their guitars. I'm sure the thing sounds absolutely beautiful. I just wasn't sold on this color that much, but as I keep looking at it, I'm like, it looks good. It looks good. I don't know. I'm still not a fan of the color. It's not my color. I'm just super excited that she got herself a private stock guitar. And I saw a comment somewhere, I'm not sure where it was, but somebody said shame on PRS for not giving her a signature series. And that's kind of crazy, guys. She's not that big of a guitarist yet. In our circle, she is, but as far as a big guitarist, a well-known name across the industry of rock music. She's pretty isolated to the core fan base that she has. Nothing against her for that, but also you gotta remember the marketing team doesn't realize how many of us will probably buy her signature guitar compared to maybe some of the other guitars. I think with BandMaid, they have a way higher conversion rate when it comes to releasing merch and people buying them, because most people buy multiples of the same shirt or CD from BandMaid. I've heard a lot of you in the community tell me this, that you guys buy a lot of merch from them. So I don't think they did enough market research on BandMaid to realize for a band that's pretty significantly small, they do huge numbers in merch sales in comparison to bigger bands. Or what we would consider bigger bands. Ticketmaster data breach. So they had a breach and sent out a letter on July 9th. I was out of town, came back and saw this letter. So I am seeing this a little too late. For those of you that have Ticketmaster, which I know a lot of people on this channel have Ticketmaster because of the bands that we go see, like Band-Maid's on Ticketmaster, Love Bites is on Ticketmaster, Baby Metal's on Ticketmaster, almost every single band's on Ticketmaster. So I just wanted to bring this information to you all and hopefully prevent you guys from getting your information hacked or sold somewhere online. So what happened? Ticketmaster recently discovered that an unauthorized third party obtained information from a cloud database hosted by a third-party data services provider. Based on our investigation, we determined that the unauthorized activity occurred between April 2nd, 2024 and May 18th, 2024, and also on May 23rd, 2024. We determined that some of your personal information may have been affected by the incident. So, and this is where it's worrisome and kind of scary. So the type of personal information that they were able to acquire was your name, basic contact information, and payment card information, which is pretty much all you need to hack your account. So they're able to get access to encrypted credit and debit card numbers with expiration dates. So that's a really big thing. They don't mention the little security code that's on there, so I'm not sure if they're able to get that. And a lot of times you need that to confirm payments for anything, but you know, people can still figure it out. For people that have credit cards, and for some reason, if they did try to use your credit card or try to purchase anything and it did go through, you can get your money back. You just call the credit card company and they will give it back. I've had this happen to me before. I've gotten hacked through one of those fake mail services. I still can't believe I fell for it. It was through a text message. They stole $983 from me. So what I did was I just called the credit card company and actually they resolved it right away. Now with debit cards, that doesn't work the same way. I know there's a couple debit cards out there that it'll work for fraud protection, but credit cards are the only card I'm really aware of that has like a solid fraud protection and they'll actually get your money back. So then they go on to say in the letter on what they are going to be doing about this. They say they are cooperating with federal law enforcement authorities and that they're reviewing their cloud database and they're doing everything in their ability to fix the problem, essentially. Then they go on to say what you can do to prevent this. I thought this was kind of funny, because they say, as described in the enclosed document titled Additional Resources, we recommend you remain vigilant and take steps to protect against identity theft and fraud. I'm like, oh, what additional resources are they offering us to make sure this doesn't happen again, even though it was their data breach? Well, it says, monitor your accounts. This is the first one on the additional resources. They do offer a credit report online thing that you can go to that's completely free, but it's like, so you're telling us to go get an annual credit report with probably a company that you're in bed with, right? You're probably working with them and you're getting a commission probably for everybody that goes to this account. And then they say freeze your credit card. Well, duh. Like if you're getting a charge, make sure you're changing the PIN to your debit card or freezing your credit card. So that's the second additional resource that they're providing, which is just something for you to do. And then fraud alerts they're just telling you to set up for fraud alerts on your credit card or your debit card, which you can do. You go to your bank account and there should be an option to set up fraud alerts where they'll text you if there's like some unauthorized transaction, which most of us get signed up for that automatically anyways. Thought that was hilarious for additional resources, but pretty much is just all on us, right? And that's where it gets a little sketchy, because with Ticketmaster, the whole issue with Ticketmaster is that they're running a whole monopoly on the sale of tickets for concerts and events. So it's just, who else do we go to for tickets for some of these shows? I mean, some bands have pulled off getting tickets through other companies, but it's very rare. So They do offer a year service with mytrueidentity.com, which is a service that helps you just make sure your information is not being sold on the black market, it's not being shared with other people, and things like that. It's supposed to help you with being a victim of fraud. And I've heard of these companies where they like protect your identity. I just feel really weary about doing this because, for one, it requires you to put in all your information. So you're giving your entire identity to these companies, and now they have a whole profile on you. So I've always been skeptical of these companies, but they do offer this free service. You type in this promo code. I did try typing it in, and then it started asking me for all my personal information. I just was curious to see what it was for, and I kind of just backed out of it, and I didn't do it. I haven't noticed anything yet from Ticketmaster. I haven't noticed any stolen data. However, I've been getting a lot of spam through my text messages, and I was wondering why I was getting so much all of a sudden. I'm like, I don't think I've signed up for anything, put my number anywhere. But I mean, I know our numbers are pretty easy to grab from any site. So like if you have it up on Facebook for a business, or if you have it up under your page, they could just grab it and then start spamming you with text. But I did notice a high increase in June. Now, I don't know why it took until July 9th to let us know, but maybe they just discovered it. They had to just have discovered it. But I hope that information helped you all. If you guys have any questions, drop some comments. And then REN's Sick Boy is running into a bunch of issues. So he bought a beat from a producer, and that producer had a stolen sample from it, or he essentially didn't get the rights to it or didn't pay him properly. And this is very common when you're buying beats and stuff from producers. So I do feel really bad for REN running into this situation, and it can put a hold on a lot of things. And right now, when you go look for the song, it is nowhere to be found. I've actually clicked on the original link video from my reaction, and you can see that it has been taken down. Now, I understand his frustrations. I have ran into similar situations myself when I was running a studio, when I worked with other artists that wanted to use beats from other publishers. We always had to do a background check and look further into it. REN is airing all this out on his YouTube channel underneath his community tab. This post that he put up 2 days ago says the Sick Boy video isn't actually just a behind the scenes issue. This is getting out of hand. I'm really sorry for everyone who wants to watch the video. The situation is so fucked and runs deeper than I'm even going to say yet. I was sold a beat with a stolen sample, which was a fuck up on the producer's part, totally on the producer's part. And like I said just earlier, this happens all the time with shady producers, so I'm not surprised. But I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Producers sample things all the time, so I wasn't massively pressed about it, partly because of this and partly because of a fuck up on either the publisher or the publisher collection societies on behalf of Cujo, who is the person that he sampled from, hasn't received his publishing, which I was trying to resolve. Even after working with Cujo and his team, they still removed the song from the YouTube channel as leverage. Now, no one ever told me this situation was even happening or that Cujo was unhappy, which is a fuck up on both Cujo and my lawyer's behalf. But giving my lawyer the benefit of the doubt, I was in brain damage treatment, so he probably figured I didn't need the stress. I was trying to work really fairly with Cujo and even willing to take a financial hit myself on something I shouldn't have to because of a stolen sample. I've given the person and the company responsible a warning that I'm going to make this totally public unless they resolve it ASAP. This could affect the entire Sick Boy album because of greed. They can do what's right, or you guys will lose a big part of something I worked so hard on while going through one of the toughest periods of my life. Now, this is going to be very tricky because I don't think he's going to be able to get to a resolution now that he's made this public. They could take this as retaliation, and they could just be like, well, fuck you, you're not getting the rights for that beat at all. So my advice to REN, if you would ever listen to my advice, remix your own song. Maybe reproduce that one part of the beat, maybe do it in your own way, own style, and I don't know if that will fix it or if that'll help. Maybe if you do your own version of it and just do a remix to the song so you can still put the album out. Now, if you use a lot of beats from that publisher that took from Cujo, then it could be an issue. But from what I can tell, it seems like it's just the one song from the Sick Boy album. And I know it really, really sucks, but maybe the best way to go about this would be remixing the song. Actually, fuck it, let's make it public. They also pointed out they could legally claim 100% of all royalties on this song over a YouTube Content ID technicality and loophole in the contract, which honestly, there's a lot of loopholes with the YouTube system in general at this point. Sadly, the way the legal system is weighted against small artists, there may be weight behind this. So not only are they asking for more, they are threatening, or as Kujo was saying, pointing out. True, they always say this. They're like, we're just pointing out to you that we can do this, but you know, they're threatening at that point, right? That they could claim the whole thing if I don't agree to the terms. Can anyone here tell me if they think it's fair? They claim 100% when they sold a song with a sample wrongly taken from somewhere else. REN goes on to say, welcome to the music business, everybody. This whole thing started because the publishers fucked up and didn't pay Kujo properly. He goes on to say, honestly, fuck this industry, man. Parasites everywhere. Now, to be fair, there's parasites in every industry, and that is exactly why it's so important to vet the people that you are working with. But I also understand why you would just trust this person after paying for it, especially if you're buying it. You don't think that publisher would ruin his business practice over stealing other people's beats. But this happens all the time, and I would be curious to know if he's still in contact with that publisher. Has that person disappeared? Because he hasn't really mentioned their name yet, so I am curious to know more information about that. Now, is it fair what Kujo is doing by holding the entire song and possibly the album hostage over this? No, of course, it's not fair. However, he did write it, and they did use a portion of it. As far as music goes, there's no like fair use on the little bit of music. A quick correction on this: fair use, using music under the fair use policy allows you to use copyrighted music without permission from the owner. Work is fair use if it has transformative purpose to parody, criticize, or comment on the original work. And they could easily argue that this is neither. That's where it gets a little weird with the whole system and the YouTube content IDing or whatnot. Because if you have more than 15 seconds of a song or 5 seconds of a song, any artist can copyright 100%. For example, if I did a reaction to this video, it gets copyrighted or it's ineligible and all the money goes to REN. However, REN is one of the few artists that allows that to be lifted off the video. So shout out to REN for even doing that, because he doesn't have to do that. He could just claim 100% of it. And I would be completely okay with him claiming 100% of it, because this is his work of art. This is what he did. He spent all the time on this. So for him to do that, kudos to him. However, other artists will not let you do that, and they will take 100% of the funds. Now, where it gets a little bit weird is when you use like 7 seconds of a song, which I've done in like analysis videos where I just show a reference of 7 seconds of a song, and then it'll be demonetized, which to me is kind of crazy because it's only 7 seconds. So I get where REN's coming from, because he's only using like a barely 4 seconds of a beat. So whatever Kujo's offering him as far as terms, it must be really unfair at this point, because for REN to go write messages like this, it has to be very, very, very unfavorable terms that he is dictating towards REN. Unfortunately, this is how the business works, and it just sucks. It's a horrible situation to be in, and I'm hoping for the best for REN. So what do you guys all think about this situation? So some comments you guys left on previous show, which was about Hagane's new song that they just recently came out with. Funny Stuff says, if Hagane is going to keep up with his current form and music, they are going to be at a much higher level. They sure would be one of my favorites. Very promising. And I kind of agree with that. I really like this lineup a lot. I do think it's an upgrade overall. And then Miku Pigeon says right here, I actually prefer Life Goes On over Tengakoken. Maybe it's because it's the first song I heard in their new EP. And I'm looking forward to reviewing that new EP, so make sure you follow us over on Twitch. I'm going to be doing a reaction to that very soon. On top of talking about Hagane in this last episode, we did talk about Brideer too, and something that happened significantly to both of them is they had some really huge lineup changes. So, Hiawatha mentions, it's interesting that we've had some comeback stories all happening around the same time. Brideer, Hagane, Koyai, all rebuilding after big changes to the lineups and all sounding great. Completely agree that they are all sounding great, but I don't remember the Koyai lineup change. Was there a significant lineup change? Let me know down below. Kevin Hardy throws in a comment saying, I don't know if collabs are the best way to go to gain followers. It's too many cooks in the kitchen. Stick to your sound. I don't know. You sound boring, man. Kevin, you sound a little boring. I think collabs are what's up. I mean, I guess if you really just want the same sound over and over again, but I think collabs are awesome. It makes it interesting, you know, just adding a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice, just changing it up a little bit. That's just my thoughts, guys. Well, that's the show for today. Leave some comments down below on which you want me to cover, or if there's anything you want me to review. I would love to do so, guys. Check out my thoughts about the Bride Dear album and the new Hagane song right here. See you.